Injectables, also known as filler and Botox. If you're at the age or the stage in your life where you're thinking about getting Botox or fillers, but you're kind of wondering, I want to know the basics, I have got you covered. This is specifically for people who are interested in doing it, but need a little more information. I'm going to share with you exactly what I do and how much I pay in the San Diego area, because there's nothing worse than somebody who says, oh, it's expensive. Oh, I have a little bit done here and there. No, you want to know the real deal. I look at it as you guys are my BFFs and you're in my living room and I'm sharing the scoop with you on what I know. This channel is all about no judgy eyes. Every woman is the boss of herself. Every woman is the master of her own domain. I do what I do because I like to share, and I specifically like to share with other women. Part of that is being completely transparent, which honestly I have a hard time not doing anyway. That's what I'm going to give you. Okay, Botox. It essentially works to relax overactive muscles and give you a much more relaxed, smoother, more youthful look. Botox is great for reducing the appearance of fine lines, wrinkles. It can help you look less angry, kind of like look like this. Overall, it just gives you a much more relaxed, youthful look, sort of like you just came back from the spa or had a really nice long vacation. There's no downtime. And again, it can make some subtle changes that give you a more refreshed look. Where can it be injected? Along your forehead to release a lot of the frown lines. The 11s, they call it the 11s, little lines right here can be injected here so that you can't scowl. Around the crow's feet, around your eyes. The bunny nose, they call it the bunny nose, you know, when you wrinkle and you get the little wrinkles right here. A tiny little bit around your lip to give it, they call it a little lip flip. It'll flip your lip up a little. It can also be injected into your neck in order to get rid of, you see these bands? They can be injected into the bands along there to soften the appearance of those bands as well. A lot of people didn't know that. A good provider should be able to look at your face and know exactly where to place the Botox in order to get the results that you want. How long does it take and does it hurt? Depending on how many areas you're having done, it takes anywhere from 10 to 15, maybe 20 minutes. And does it hurt? It hurts a little bit. I gotta be honest. They use a very fine needle. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would give it a 3. They'll usually give you an ice pack so that you can numb the area right before they give you the injection, and that helps quite a bit. Does it bruise? It can bruise. In my experience, it's just sort of a crapshoot. I mean, every once in a while they hit something and you're going to bruise. There are definitely things that you can do to mitigate the bruising. 1, staying away from alcohol for 2 to 3 days prior to your Botox injections, avoiding blood thinners like aspirin or herbal supplements, and eating pineapple, yes, the day of and the day after. Why? Because pineapple has an enzyme called bromelain. I think it's bromelain. What is it? Yeah, bromelain. And that's an enzyme that helps to reduce bruising. Finally, you can rub some arnica on it. You can get arnica at like Whole Foods or Trader Joe's, someplace like that, and that will help as well. How long does it take to work? Some providers will tell you it takes a couple weeks. I start seeing the effects of it 5 to 7 days after. I start feeling that my face looks a little more relaxed and the area starts to smooth out a little more. It generally will last you 3 to 4 months, but it depends on your own body and how quickly your body metabolizes. It also depends on the area. Some areas run out quicker than others. For me, I usually get about 3 months out of most all of my Botox. The area around my eyes, I get maybe 2 to 2.5 months because these muscles on me are stronger and I tend to smile a lot. So the Botox is having to do a lot more work to keep it into place. But on average, you can expect for it to last about 3 to 4 months. Tuesday and Friday, I give brand new subscribers or current subscribers a shout out. That is just my way of saying thank you, and I'm glad to have you here. This week, I'd like to give a shout out to my girl Anna Rosa, my girl Sally Latoni, Mountains NC, which I'm guessing is Mountains, North Carolina, am I right? And my girl Marub. I know I mispronounced that. I'm not quite sure what it stands for. Ladies, thank you for subscribing. I love having you here. Thank you for being part of the community. How much does it cost? It varies according to where you live and how much you're having done. Generally, Botox will range anywhere from $12 to $20 per unit. That's how they price the Botox. I live in San Diego, California. I go to a very reputable med spa that is connected to a very reputable cosmetic surgery center. I pay $15 per unit of Botox. Okay, what does that mean? All right, here's what I have done. In my forehead, I get 30 units. I get 10 units in between my eyebrows. These are also called the 11s. Around my crow's feet, I get a total of 22 units. I get 10 units here, 12 units here, just because this eye seems to be stronger. And I get 7 units around my bunny nose. Maybe I'm due right now. From time to time, I also get them in my neck to release these bands. These bands are really strong, that's why you can still see them. And I'll get a total of 50 units in between those 4 major bands. The units that I get are about average, but the provider that you go to is going to be able to recommend the number of units for you based off of your goals. Some people want a lot of movement in their forehead and they want to be able to see some wrinkles. They just want to relax them. In those instances, you will need fewer units. I like to be able to move my eyebrows, but honestly, I like my forehead nice and smooth. When you call a provider for a consultation, you may run into 2 different pricing models. I prefer the pricing model of per unit, and I'll tell you why. The second pricing model that some places like to use, although I don't see it as often anymore, is called per area, meaning they'll say it's $450 for your forehead. It's $300 for your eyes. I don't like that, and here's why. You always end up on the short end of the stick. The number of units that you need in any given area can vary. For example, if a medi-spa or a doctor considers the forehead one area, which it is, they might say it's $450 for the forehead. Well, I need 30 units to achieve my goals. You might only need 10 units. You see where I'm going with this? For me, with 30 units, that's a good deal. I'm paying $15 a unit, which is about right. But if you only need 10 units and you're paying $450, you see where I'm going? You've now paid $45 a unit. You want to know the price per unit, not per area. I personally love Botox, and I've been doing it for a very, very long time. Without a doubt, it makes me look more relaxed. I know that it has for sure staved off a lot of wrinkles that I probably would have otherwise gotten because I'm not using those muscles so often. I'm doing this on purpose. I just love it. It's my jam. I like it. Talk about fillers, also known as dermal fillers. They're injected underneath the surface of your skin to fill in or plump areas that have lost volume and have started to sag over time, and to help make your facial features more symmetrical. Here's the deal, you guys. When we are younger, our face essentially is like an upside down triangle where we have more fullness along the temples and the cheeks and less along the bottom. That's what gives us kind of a more youthful look. As we age, the triangle flips upside down. So we lose volume in through our temples and the sides of our face, and we gain volume down here along the jowls. That's what can contribute to us looking a little more aged and a little more saggy. This is what my provider did for me that I was like, whoa, that made a difference. They started the filler mid-cheek and they filled it in all along here and up along my temples. This helped to rebalance the symmetry in my face. As a result, I have more fullness up here than I did before, and it makes this area not look as jowly. Adding fullness to the side really helped significantly. Fillers can be used to help smooth marionette lines. These are nasolabial folds. They're also known as the marionette lines. They can help to eliminate those little vertical lines that we get around our lip. If you've noticed that you have hollowness underneath your eye, fillers can also be used underneath your eye in order to fill out that area and make it much smoother. Now, for those of you who follow me, I have also had cosmetic surgery, and you know that because I've done a couple videos on it. I'll put the link down below for you. A good provider should be able to look at your face and know exactly what to do in order to help you achieve the goals. All right, so there are a number of different fillers, and these may sound familiar to you. There's Radiesse, Juvederm, Restalyne. They tend to last anywhere from, they'll say 9 months to a year. I'd say I get 8 to 11 months out of that. Generally speaking, they are priced by syringe, a full syringe. The average price for them is about $550 to $800 per syringe. The next question is, okay, well, how many syringes do I need? I can almost pretty much assure you that you will need more than one syringe. For the marionette lines and just a little bit in the lips, I used 2 syringes. For the cheeks and the temple area, that was 4 syringes. So this just gives you an idea of the price. Second, in a separate class are 2 things called Sculptra and BELLAFILL. The deal with Sculptra is you don't get the immediate result. Sculptra actually triggers your body to produce its own collagen. So you won't start to see results for about 6 weeks. Even then, they're moderate. Usually with Sculptra, it requires 2 to 3 different sessions to achieve the look that you want, spaced 6 weeks apart. They say that it gives you a little more of a natural look since it's using your own collagen. I did have Sculptra done. Candidly, I don't remember whether or not it made a difference and whether or not I liked it. I think that I was just so impatient that I went one time and I said, just give me the stuff where I can see what it does now. But that's an option, and some women really love it and swear by it. Sculptra will usually run $500 to $600 per syringe. And remember, you will probably go 2 to 3 times, spaced 6 weeks apart, and you may require a couple syringes at each one. Your provider is going to be able to customize a plan for you. This just gives you an idea. The last one is called BELLAFILL, and I have had BELLAFILL done, and I believe that it worked really well. The claim is that the results last for about 5 years. Of course, it is much more expensive. BELLAFILL runs about $1,000 per syringe. But if it lasts you 5 years, it's probably worth it. I don't like that there's not a guarantee. For all I know, it would last me a year, and then I'd be back again paying $1,000 a syringe. I know it sounds kind of funny, but sometimes I can be really cheap. I always get Juvederm, Restalyne, or Radiesse, and I let my provider decide what to use based on what area I'm getting. How do you find a good provider? First and foremost, if you have a friend that you trust who loves who she goes to, that is always a really great place to start. Secondly, laws are different in each state. In the state of California where I live, med spas have to be supervised by an actual physician, MD. Should you definitely go to a cosmetic surgeon for this? Not necessarily. I would much rather go to a nurse practitioner who does this all day, every day, because it is such an art. And somebody who does it all day, every day is going to be much more proficient than a cosmetic surgeon who maybe only does it a few times. My cosmetic surgeon, who I love, told me the exact same thing. He said, you need to ask the women at the med spa because they know far more about it than I do. They do this all day, every day. I rarely do it. I look at reviews. I look at the time in business. And with respect to the actual person, whether it's a nurse practitioner or an RN, I specifically ask that person, how long have you been licensed? How long have you been performing injectables? And approximately how many have you done? Just because somebody is an RN or a doctor or a nurse practitioner doesn't mean that they have done a lot of injectables. It's such a highly profitable industry that a lot of people are getting into it. I don't want to be somebody's guinea pig. I don't want to be the 5th person that they've done. Once you found somebody that you think you like and you make an appointment, remember, going in and meeting with them is really a consultation. If for any reason you don't feel comfortable with it, don't feel obligated to get a service. You know that. It is your body, it is your face, and if you're not comfortable with it, just thank them for the information and you can leave. Okay, y'all, I hope that was really helpful for you. Please, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. There are never any judgy eyes here, and if there's something that I missed that you really need to know, ask below. I always read and I always answer. Okay, y'all, until next time, I will see you in a couple days. Bye.